Welcome to another RES Wave Aussie dollar update. Now, it's been a little while since I've put out an idea on Aussie dollar, and the reason being is because I have been busy working on my bullish thesis for the overall market, right, which requires a lot of analysis, research, and also just thinking in general. So at this point in time, this pattern looks complete in the way that it would had it been my previous count, right? The only difference is that this was an A, this was a B, and this was the C. But we did hit the target. We did see that move happen, right? And when I say it happened, I mean the last move happened exactly like the way I thought it would. It created a three-wave move, right? Now, that's all right. There's no problem with this at all. The only thing is now I am bullish. So what happens from this point is what I want to try and get across to you. Now, if we just go back to the weekly chart, now the previous move down, I did see it as it being an E wave. Okay, so let's just get rid of these markings, old markings, labels, sorry. So regardless of what kind of five-wave move this was down here, right? We're basically looking at this being an E wave, right? Now, this is very interesting because there's a lot more to the whole bullish stance, and I will be covering it across a lot of other videos, right? Because it's all forms one big picture, right? So this being the E wave, we're looking at a new trend after this low in 2020, right? So if we go back to this low in 2020, now I was at one point extremely bullish on this, and I did at one point say it will go to 80 cents. It did end up going to 80 cents, or around 80 cents. But this, I think this is just the beginning. I do think this is just the beginning. Now, wave one ended down here. This is my opinion. Wave one ended in April last year, and we had a expanded wave two. Okay, so that's fully expanded because the end of wave two happened way above the end of wave one. That's expanded. So what can we expect to see from here? Right now, if this part of the move was expanded, do you think that this part of the move will be expanded? I think so. I think that we're going to see a large move to the upside, and it's going to be very strong. Right? It's not like we're going to see just some of it expanded and then the rest gets slower. Well, that obviously wouldn't mean that it's an uptrend. It'd mean that it was going to go down, right? So if this is actually not going to continue to go higher, it cannot make another high. Okay, so this is one of the key components of this analysis. If this does go higher than at this point here, right there, that means that this is an invalid count, and we will probably likely see sorry, well, let me just start that again. If this goes above the high, it is going higher. Okay, if this doesn't go above the high and continues lower, well, it has to break this low here to confirm that's the case, that this is going to go lower. Okay, because this is the end of wave two. But I don't imagine that this is going to go this low, especially if it's supposed to be in an uptrend, right? Sorry about that confusion there. So the thing that I find interesting is that how could this be a leading diagonal for the following move? I suppose it could be related to things that are going on in the market. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of manipulation, bond yields, all that sort of thing. I suppose they have to try and keep those rates down, don't they? Otherwise, there's going to be problems. So I suppose during this period of time, there is a lot of that sort of thing going on where, there's a bit of uncertainty. But as soon as they do what they're going to do, most likely to keep those rates down, I would say most likely we are going to see inflation pick up and push this thing higher and higher and higher, right? And that's the thing that I've been really just thinking about lately. If this is the case, then we're just going to see everything just keep getting more higher in value. You can say overinflated, but that's a matter of opinion. Some people say we're in an epic bubble. Some people say this is just getting started. I don't think it really matters because the Fed's got your back. They're going to keep printing. They're going to keep kicking that can down the road. And if you've seen my Dow Jones analysis, I don't think they're going to stop. I think they've been doing it for a long time now, and I don't think they're going to just stop suddenly now just because, a bunch of people think that it's getting overinflated. And this is the part that I've had to get through my head in order to fix my view on what I think is going to happen. Stay bullish. Stay bullish. Staying bullish is the key component here. Try to look at everything in a bullish way. And most likely, everything will be fine. Now, if we just look at this move up here as being the end of wave 1 of wave 3 that's coming, right, then what is currently happening down here? Okay, so if that's the case, let's zoom into the 1 hour or perhaps even the 15-minute. All right. So what do I think this pattern is here, and are we going to see a move to the upside shortly? Okay, so very interesting indeed. This move here appears to be, like, just upon closer inspection, appears to be a 3-wave move right there. So if we can call that a B, C, D, E, then it would almost appear as if this thing is just basically getting ready to move higher. Okay, so do we have a 1 and a 2 around here? It appears that way. It appears that way, right? I suppose for a correction to be that small, it's a bit suspect. Usually you'd have, it's not too bad. It still should have dipped a bit lower. So how else would I view this potentially? Okay, so it could also be a case of this being a 3-wave move in total. Less likely to be the case, I believe, but that would be 3, 3, 5, and then 3, 5. Yeah, it seems less likely. If anything, it just looks like, like this is basically the low in here. Looks like this is potentially a low, a support area, right? And it's just hard for me to feel very surprised about that particular thing because of the way that previous pattern has expanded to the upside, right? For me to think that looks a bit odd, I don't have any problems with it, really. I don't. I think that's fine. I think that could be called potentially a low right there. And then, so what I'm trying to say is that could be one, and we could be seeing two here, like this, okay? Which means further upside, you can either go long now or look for a break at the highs. I think we've already had the confirmation that is required to take that long position. But if you want further confirmation, I'd be looking for a break of the highs, because when you go long, I think this is going to be a long-term support. I don't think this is coming back anytime soon. I think what they're going to do now is just send everything higher, inflation higher, and they're going to keep those rates low. So hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.